All right, solve the equation. X over 1/2 equals negative 0.375. Pause the video, try this yourself, then we'll review. All right, just like we did in that other video. Step one, how did you rewrite this? Did you rewrite the decimals to a fraction? Did you change that? Or did you change the fraction to a decimal? Which one do you think would be the easier way to go? Right. The easier way to go, I'm going to change the fraction to a decimal. I should know what 1/2 is, right? So I get x divided by 1/2 or 0.5, right? 1 divided by 2 is 0.5 equals negative 0.375. All right. What side has the variable? If you said the left side, that is correct. You can see the variable is on this side. So what do we need to do to get rid of everything that is not the variable? What do we need to do to get the variable by itself, right? How to get x equals. All right, well, what's happening? Right, we got to get rid of the 0.5. This is division. So what we're going to do, we're going to multiply both sides by 0.5, right? So these two cancel out. I'm left with just x, and then I'm going to divide, negative 0.375 by 0.5 as well. So if I multiply them together, okay, I get a positive divide times a negative. So this is positive, this is negative. So my answer is going to be negative. And then all I need to do is 0.375 times 0.5. And then we're going to get negative 0.1875. Okay, and then you can always plug this back in to check to see if it works, right? So if x is negative 0.1875, negative 0.1875, if you divided it by 1/2 or 0.5, okay, do you get negative 0.375? You betcha you do. So this works. Okay, the answer is x equals negative 0.1875. Or if you change this to a fraction, it'll be 1,875. And this is a little bit challenging, right? This isn't thousands, it's 10,000s. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be 4 zeros. And then you would have to simplify it. And when you simplify, you might want to do it in steps, right? So I can see that I can divide 25 out of both of these numbers. Okay, so I get negative 75 over 400. Okay, and then I know I can divide 25 again. Okay, because 25 goes into 75 and 25 goes into any 100, 100, 200, 300, 400. So once I get it, I'll simplify this to negative 3/16. Okay, so that it's either negative 3/16 or as a decimal, negative 0.1875. All right, final question. Solve this one. Pause the video, try it yourself, then we'll review. All right, step one, rewrite the equation. Did you change your decimal to a fraction, or did you change your fraction to a decimal? What would you do in this problem? All right, if you said change your decimal to a fraction, absolutely. If we did 4 divided by 7, we'll get a very long number that will just, keep going on forever, or it would just be a really long decimal. We just don't want to be dealing with that. Okay, so it's best if we change, the 1.2x. So so this is like 1 and 2/10, but 2/10 can simplify so this is like saying 1 and 1/5 x. Okay, 1 and 1/5 x. Okay, 1/5 is 0.2 equals 1 and 4/7. Okay, all right, so what side is the variable? All right, you got it. The left side has the variable. Okay, so what do we need to do to get rid of to solve this problem? All right, so what we're going to need to do, right, the opposite operation, we need to get rid of 1 and 1/5. Okay, so what we're doing now, it's being multiplied. There's an invisible multiplication sign there. So to get rid of that, we're going to divide by 1 and 1/5. Okay, we're going to divide both sides by 1 and 1/5. Okay. However, remember when we divide with fractions, we're actually going to keep, change, and flip. So if we, well, this cancels out, and if we did 1 and 4/7 divided by 1 and 1/5, what we would need to do is first change these to mixed numbers. Okay, so I'll get 7, right? 7 times 1 plus 4. 7 times 1 is 7 plus 4 is 11. So this is 11/7 divided by 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. So this is 6/5. And then I do my keep, change, flip. Keep the first one the same, change it to multiplication, and flip the second fraction, 5/6. Okay, so now that we know that, okay, I'm going to delete some things. Okay, so I deleted the whole thing because I'm going to rewrite everything. Okay, because I know I'm going to be dividing, which is going to change things around. So instead of saying 1.2, I'm not going to say 1.1 and 1 1.15, right? We said it's 1. I'm going to change it to 6/5. So 1.2 is the same as 6/5 x equals 1. Oh, I'm going to change this to 11/7, right? 11/7. So I just changed that. And right, so we said we're going to divide, right, to get rid of this. But what I'm going to do then is I'm going to multiply, right? That's what we did. We multiplied by the reciprocal. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to multiply by the flipped version of it. And they will end up canceling each other out. What I do to the left side, I do to the right side. Okay, so what happens, these cancel out. Right, so now I'm just left with the x equals 11 times 5, which is 55. 7 times 6 equals 42. Okay, now we're going to simplify this. 42 can go into 55 one time, and then I'll have 13 left over. Okay, so 13 over 42. All right. And so that is our correct answer. And remember, we wanted to make sure we keep it as, a fraction. Now, what we could do when we check, just like we did before, we could say, okay, let's keep it as a decimal, 1.2x. So instead of x, I'm going to put this as a decimal. This is like saying 1 and 13 over 42. So it's like saying 1, and then if I did 13 divided by 42, right, we'll get a little bit 0.3, and if I rounded it, 1.31. Okay, I rounded it up. Okay, so this is just an approximate, and it will equal 1 and 4/7. Well, what is 4 divided by 7? So we've got to change that, 1.57. Okay, so if I plug this in my calculator, 1.2 times 1.31, okay, we get 1.572, which is close to 1.57. So it does make sense. It is good. Okay, so changing it back to decimals, and you can see why we did not want to use a decimal, because we don't get the exact correct answer, but it's close. So this is correct. We keep it as a mixed number then.